For years, Pakistan has been harboring and enabling terror groups, but the government has been shielding them for years now. Our next report telling you how extremist networks have morphed to enter Pakistan's political landscape and how the streets of Pakistan often speak louder than the state.
The face of terror for years, the Lashkar-e-Taiba and its ideological wing Jamaat-ud-Dawa would have been outcasts in any society. But not in Pakistan. The footprint of the LET and the JUD remained strong as ever. Rebranding themselves, they'd remained relevant in Pakistan, defying international bans over links to the deadly 2008 Mumbai attacks. The Lashkar-e-Taiba has entered Pakistani politics through surrogate party, the Pakistan Markazi Muslim League, in an attempt to mainstream itself. The Jamaat-ud-Dawa, on the other hand, has morphed into an ostensible charity. Lashkar-e-Taiba's founder, Hafiz Saeed, is closely associated with the PMML. His son, Talha Saeed, contested the 2024 general elections, but despite aggressive campaigning, he didn't make the electoral cut. A year later, extremist politics continues to echo on the streets of Pakistan. Rallies organized in several major Pakistani cities, Lahore, Karachi, Islamabad, Rawalpindi, Faisalabad, Gujranwala and Hafizabad all resonate with anti-India slogans. The protests come on the back of the terror attack in Pahalgam on April 22nd that claimed 27 lives. From public spaces to places of worship, the street-level presence of these groups is hard to miss. For years, India and the world have pointed to the terror camps thriving in Pakistan. The Lashkar-e-Taiba to the Jaish-e-Mohammed continue to train, arm and infiltrate, while Islamabad continues to shield them on the global stage. But the truth is out there. 5 years ago, speaking in Washington, Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan admitted to the presence of 40,000 active terrorists in his country. He was replying to a question posed by WION in Washington.
About the militant groups, they still have about 30 to 40,000 armed people who have been trained and in some sort of a theater who fought either in Afghanistan, maybe in Kashmir. All these groups, including Al-Qaeda, had arrived in Pakistan. And not only that, there were linkages between these groups and the Pakistani security forces because they had created them.
And now, days after the Pahalgam terror attack, Pakistan's Defence Minister Khwaja Asif has made a chilling, albeit blatant admission.
Well, we have been doing this dirty work for the United States for about 3 decades, and West, including Britain.
His coalition colleague Bilawal Bhutto acknowledges Pakistan's history with extremism, claiming the nation has suffered as a result.
I don't think that it's a secret that Pakistan has a past as far as extremist groups are concerned. And as a result of this, we have suffered. Pakistan has suffered. We've gone through wave after wave of extremism. We went through the Islamization and militarization of our society. But as a result of what we suffered, we also learnt our lessons.
As global pressure mounts on Islamabad to crack down on Pahalgam terrorists, the world watches how deep the roots of extremism run, not just in the shadows, but in plain sight. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
And let's go straight across now to Brigadier Sanjay Agarval joining us on the broadcast. Former Security Advisor, Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India. Let's begin by talking about and getting in your reaction to that report we just played out for our viewers.
Good evening, Molly. Could you say that again a little louder, please?
Right. Beginning by talking about what we just played out for our viewers. The kind of support that Pakistan has been giving to these elements.
Okay. The kind of support Pakistan gives to terrorist outfits is something unique. Good evening, viewers. The global model is that most countries treat terror organizations as threats to their national and global security and want to dismantle them and at least sever ties with them. But Pakistan, their relationship with terror groups is a calculated policy choice, not an accident, a calculated policy choice of treating them as strategic assets to further their interests, especially in Kashmir and in Afghanistan. Pakistan offers them state patronage. It has an institutionalized relationship to offer them safe havens, funding, training, equipment. Often we have found Chinese equipment even day before yesterday in Pahalgam. So the relationship is of Pakistan playing a double game, running with the hares and hunting with the hounds, condemning terrorism on one hand and nurturing it on the other. Also, Pakistan differentiates between good terrorists and bad terrorists. It is the perpetrator and often postures as the victim. So these are the kinds of differences. And why are they there? Because in its geopolitical strategy, Pakistan finds these terror groups as very useful proxies to further its interests. Also in their internal politics, given the socio-political dynamics of Pakistan, there is very little civilian oversight on its military.
Right.
And therefore, these terror groups can continue with patronage. The Lashkar-e-Toiba itself started off in the late 1980s, and by the way, Lashkar-e-Taiba literally translates into the army of the righteous. What an irony. It's a Pakistan-based Salafi jihadist group. It has been designated as a terror organization by the UNSC, as also as the JEM also. Here the Lashkar has the terrorist resistant front, which had originally claimed responsibility for Pahalgam, but because of international repercussions, they quickly retracted it, obviously on the orders of the ISI. And the LET's primary objective is to fight the Indian government in Kashmir, and it operates through various fronts, charity organizations, etc. This is about the Lashkar. And you would remember, and your viewers would remember, that it was the Lashkar-e-Taiba which was responsible for the 2008 Mumbai attacks. It operates through these charities and fronts, tries to avoid getting banned, but it is banned. The Jamaat-ul-Dawa is another one of its fronts, and they repeatedly rebrand themselves and diversify operations, including doing some humanitarian work somewhere as a cover for recruitment and fundraising. The TRF proper, which is an offshoot of the Lashkar-e-Taiba, appeared in 2019 after India had revoked the special status of Jammu and Kashmir.
Right.
And specifically, the TRF was created to give militancy in Kashmir a local face and to distance them from the stigma of cross-border terrorism, and therefore the name the Resistance Front. And they are experts at using social media, encrypted messaging, modern propaganda techniques, radicalizing Indian youth, and making it hard for the Indian security forces to track them. And similarly, we have the TTP, the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, the Hizbul Mujahideen, the Al-Badr Mujahideen, the Sepah-e-Sahaba Pakistan.
If I can just come in here, what at this point, according to you, should India's response be?
So basically what you're asking is what next? So when we talk of what next, I want to make this very clear that it appears to me since 22nd, and I have been on record on TV saying that between where we are now, and it is valid today also on the 2nd of May, where we are today and the declaration of war, there is a host of options India has. A host of options to leverage its comprehensive national power to inflict pain on at increasing pain thresholds without the declaration of war. Please understand, viewers, who wants war? China wants this war to distract India from its commendable, enviable economic growth trajectory, using Pakistan as its financially indebted proxy. Pakistan also needs this war, not to win, but because it is so debt-ridden, a war will help some of its debts get written off, some of them getting recycled into longer periods, etc. The Pakistan army particularly needs this war to falsely continue to portray India as an existential threat. Of course, the Pakistan army chief needs this war for personal reasons.
Yes.
One point, Molly, I would like to say, you see, when we talk of the business world talks of win-win situations as the holy grail of all negotiations. Unfortunately, with the Pakistan ideology, a win-win doesn't hold good. If India wins, even if Pakistan wins, no go. Classic example, the Tapi oil pipeline. Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India pipeline was a win for Pakistan, win for India. It was sabotage.
Right. We're leaving it there for the moment.
They want India to go to war to reduce India's rising power.
And let's just get our viewers up to speed with these updates that we have been monitoring very closely, where US Vice President J.D. Vance has said that Washington hopes that Islamabad will cooperate with India to hunt down Pakistan-based terrorists. That's the latest coming in. And India's response to the terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir does not lead to a broader regional conflict. Listen to this reaction.
About any time you see a hotspot breaking out, especially between two nuclear powers. We've obviously been in close contact with our friends in India and Pakistan. Our hope here is that India responds to this terrorist attack in a way that doesn't lead to a broader regional conflict. And we hope, frankly, that Pakistan, to the extent that they're responsible, cooperates with India to make sure that the terrorists, sometimes operating in their territory, are hunted down and dealt with.
Vance made his remarks on the attack in an interview with Fox News amid the rising tensions between India and Pakistan in the aftermath of the Pahalgam attack. And US Vice President and his family, remember, were in India on a 4-day visit when Pakistani terrorists carried out that attack. And hours before Vance's statement, the US Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, called his Indian counterpart, Rajnath Singh, and sent out a strong message of solidarity over the Pahalgam terror attack. He said Washington supports India's right to defend itself and reiterated full US government support in India's fight against terrorism. Rajnath Singh, in fact, told the US Defense Secretary that Pakistan has a history of supporting, training, and funding terrorist groups, and it has been exposed as a rogue state, fueling global terrorism and destabilizing the region. He also said it's important for the global community to unequivocally condemn and call out such heinous acts of terrorism. After a talk with the Indian External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, the US Secretary of State, Rubio, said he encouraged India to work with Pakistan to de-escalate the tensions and maintain peace and security in South Asia. And then India's Union Home Minister Amit Shah, in his first public remarks on the Pahalgam terror attack, vowed revenge and warned that those responsible for the deadly attack would not be spared and every single terrorist will be tracked and punished.
मैं सभी आतंक फैलाने वालों को कहना चाहता हूं कि लड़ाई का अंत नहीं है, एक मकाम है, हर व्यक्ति को चुन चुन कर जवाब भी मिलेगा, जवाब भी लिया जाएगा.
And Pakistan is in panic mode. Its civilian and military leaders are scrambling as fears of Indian military action increase. Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, in fact, rushed to meet President Asif Ali Zardari to discuss the spiraling security situation. The two leaders spoke of unity, sovereignty and resolve, but the undertone was one of panic. On Thursday, Pakistan's army chief visited the Tilla field firing ranges to observe military exercises. Islamabad's official statements may speak of befitting responses, but flurry of high-level huddles and drills betray the deep unease within Rawalpindi and Islamabad. Overnight, Pakistan Army posts resorted to small arms firing from across the line of control opposite Kupwara Baramulla, Poonch, Nowshera and Akhnur sectors in Jammu and Kashmir. This is the 8th consecutive night of Pakistan provoking India along the line of control after the Pahalgam attack. Indian Army said its troops responded to the firing in a calibrated and proportionate manner. Furthermore, the Atari-Wagah border crossing point between India and Pakistan has been shut completely following a week-long heavy rush of people from either side to cross over after the Indian government ordered all Pakistani citizens with short-term visa to leave the country in the wake of the Pahalgam terror attack.